In this video, I'm going to run through how to do a vision acquisition of a device and then how to create an actual HMI that's looking at the actual kind of key metrics of the device and how to, how I would kind of go about the beginnings of like a specification, where you kind of set down all the kind of the criteria and so on. So the vision system that I'm using is cognix, and basically the HMI that I'm using is a kind of a customized, it's custom software, basically without going into it. So with this HMI that you can see right here, you can see that there's effectively these individual scores, and then there's like this area here represents like a tolerance, basically, away from an actual set point. And effectively, this is an example of the image that I'm going to be looking for here. It's this particular part that you can see, and I have basically a good one and I have a bad one, basically. And I'll just move this guy out of the way. And this here is something called Cognix Insight, and that's a common platform that's used in order to actually, do the acquisition of images and interrogate data and so on. And I have a live item here. So basically, right behind me, I have this light box. Where I can keep the exact lighting conditions and so on. So this is basically a live image, right? So I'll also then open up, there's this design document here, and basically in the design document, if I just scroll down, what I can see here is I can see that here's my shape, and there's the metrics that I'm basically looking for here. So I'm effectively looking for a side distance here, a side distance here, then basically an angle, and then a diameter, and then basically I have kind of like an overall score. So we're kind of like a general kind of figure is placed to say, right, this is actually conforming or not, as a kind of an indicator. So each of these values then basically it has an individual kind of target address inside of Cognix. So I'm going to open up something called a spreadsheet view. And effectively, you can see this guy here. It's like Microsoft Excel, A29, then I have A44, then I have A48, then I have A54, and basically, I have effectively a location then for an overall score, where you can see here, this particular guy, this 96 guy. So anyway, if I go back then, what I can do then is I just literally I'm looking at say an example of the HMI in terms of that I'm going to look at, and the core idea here is that once something comes in, that if it fails, it basically a red X is basically shown, and then if we get it actually to pass, and then what we get is kind of like a green tick as such. So this is live, and it's just literally just an acquisition has just kind of been taken as such. And effectively, what I'm going to do then is I am going to swap out the good part that's inside it, and I'm going to swap it out with this bad part. So what I will do in Cognix, I'm going to literally just go to live right here. So I'm just going to swap it out in this box just behind me, and you'll see my hand go in, and then basically I'm just going to put down the non-conforming part. And the non-conformances that occur here have to do basically with the edges, then basically the circle then itself, right? So I'll just go back and quickly I'll just go into this guy, Easy Builder View, and then we'll just go into here, and then effectively I'm just going to disconnect from it. So you can't have two connections from the same machine at the same time. So then I'm going to take this particular guy here, and I'm going to do another acquisition. So we'll do acquisition. And what we're going to see is actually he failed. Okay, so we had lengths which were measured on the side, but what we can see here is that the radius of the actual circle has gone into the wrong location, and also the angle between one of the sides was grossly out. So that's basically the way to look at it. And then the overall score was certainly down below kind of what was needed. So what I'll do again is I'm going to take now this good device, and I'm going to just put him back in. And effectively I will just kind of swap them out in the general location. So I've swapped them out, and then I have my bad guy right here, and if I just kind of give another selection again, see that they all go back to the right place. And that's just an overview of how vision inspection is done. These types of HMIs are basically done as one-offs. The concept is it's supposed to be continuous production all the time, and effectively this data then basically goes logged into a historian or an individual database, so that you can come back in and do trends. And I think probably what I'll do is I'll do another video that kind of covers the inspection, the data acquisition, and then effectively the reporting in terms of making sure that the process is what's acceptable. Thank you very much.